Today, ladies and gentlemen, is a series of 4 classes. The first class today being the foundation of your success. It really is about your booking psychology, tips and techniques, how to book more referral business, and of course, to prospect and attract more higher quality people. And I truly believe that each and every one of you, if I gave you a show and it was qualified, you'd take it, wouldn't you? Say yes. And so really, I believe the only thing holding you from achieving all your goals is the most important class here today. So tips, couple little tips. Number one, we emailed out your dealer or you directly some paperwork. There's four documents. So do print those out and do have a notepad, not scratch paper. Scratch paper, the wind blows, you lose it. The distilled wisdoms you're going to get here today, if you apply them, ladies and gentlemen, will improve your bottom line performance in this business. Okay, if you apply them, and that is my personal guarantee. So with that being said, I think we have a early time drawing, yes, right, for the early birds. So Teresa, we've got your names, those of you that logged in. Give it a quick little spin before we get this party started. Teresa, let's spin the win. There's Michelle. I see Michelle earlier. Congratulations. Where is she? Where is Michelle? Okay. Congratulations to you, Michelle. You just won yourself a beautiful Salad Master oval bake dish. Indeed. What a beautiful thing. And by the way, we're going to do another drawing at the halftime here, ladies and gentlemen. So hold on to your seats. Get ready to rumble. Now, we've got a full 90 minutes here, and what I'm going to ask each and every one of you, I'm powering through some information. You're going to take some screenshots to capture this. We will not be emailing out the PowerPoints. If you miss one of the 4 classes, it will be 2 months at least before you'll have an opportunity to get it. And those of you that complete all 4 classes, the next one 2 weeks from now, 2 weeks after that, 2 weeks after that, on a Tuesday night at the same place, same time. You will be certified, okay? Mastery certified after this. So hold on to your seats, and also think about a study buddy that you can get together once a week and integrate this information, particularly the information that you're printing off, because it's totally related, but it's not necessarily same order and sequence. So with that being said, I'm going to start off with a quick little screen share, and I'm going to talk to you for a moment. This is not a soft subject. This is actually very valuable subject. And what do you value, ladies and gentlemen? Because what we're going to talk about is your beliefs, and beliefs drive behavior. Okay. And so what do you value? Okay. And if you printed this out, you can start writing it right now. I bet many of you value, some of you value adventure, right? Okay. So if you do value adventure, my question to you is, why do you value adventure? Maybe you find that it's fun, okay? Maybe you find that you like a challenge. Maybe it's the variety, okay? I'm giving you memory joggers, so if something actually cues your brain, write it down, okay? Many of you, your top value is faith, and why your top value is faith? Maybe your belief is that God is everything. Now, you're going, what does this relate to my business? Well, your beliefs drive behavior. And if you understand your beliefs and you tap into your beliefs and you're able to resonate your passion, you don't have to fake anything. You can be your authentic you and be powerful in that manner. Some of you, achievement. There's a lot of achievers in the house here today that love to win, that have that competitive spirit, right? So achievement is, if that's a value, why is that a value? What's the belief that's driving behind? Maybe you find that challenge is the juice. Maybe it makes life more rewarding, okay? So capture these ideas as we continue, ladies and gentlemen. And I know all of you loving connection, okay? We want to be connected to our team. We want to be connected to our family, our neighbors, our community, our tribe. Why is connection so important? Because relationships, okay, equal trust, right? Equal bond, equal just really enhancing experiences, right? Oh, I'm losing my, okay, relationships equal whatever you desire. What else? Well, maybe you've family. I know not some of you, maybe family is the highest value. Maybe it's faith, maybe it's family. But if it's family, maybe you believe that you value both your roots and your fruits, your parents and your children. Okay, so your parents are your past that define you, and your children, okay, are your legacy, right? So everything you pour into them is a little bit of you. Now, some of you are going, okay, James, this is all good stuff, but what does this mean? It's all trust and faith. Okay. Many of you have health. That's why you invested in Salamaster. Health is a strong value. Many of you believe that health is wealth, right? Okay. Many people believe that health is time. Health is money when you have that. By the way, Arnell, it's good to see you taking notes there next to your wife. Good to see you. We do have growth, growth and learning and growing and becoming more of an individual is such a powerful value because we all want to improve, right? And so let's add a few more down here, ladies and gentlemen. What are some other things that you might value? Because we're taking these values and we're incorporating them into your mission, which you're going to talk about on your booking, because that is you. That's what you stand for. Okay. So maybe it's contribution. Okay. We all want to give to a great cause, right? So contribution, maybe it has been said that a life worth living is a life of giving, right? And many of you have an attitude of servitude. You want to be able to contribute to the greater good of your community, your church, and just to your brotherhood and sisterhood. Maybe you've got excellence, and that is one of Salad Master's core values: is excellence in everything you do, and ultimately giving, not 90%, but giving 100%, ladies and gentlemen, defines your character, doesn't it? Okay, so as you're taking these notes, okay, about who you are, if you want to be able to be excellent at communicating, that's interpersonal skills. You have to have intra, okay? You have to have the skills of knowing yourself and knowing how you tick and why you tick. Now, maybe finances. Some of you are business people, and you go, you know what? I value. I don't. How do you say? Oh, this one here, it's sticking. I don't know what's going on with it. So maybe it's not that you worship money, but you value success. And success really monetarily is not necessarily mean you're good or better. It's just a scorecard for the quality of life and what you can give other people. And so here's just a couple things of what you value. The more abundant you are, the more you can share with others. Isn't that true? Yes? Say yes. Do I hear a yes? Okay, so this is an assignment. You're going to continue to work with your study buddy later about your driving force, because if you understand that, you know how you motivate yourself. You also learn how you can actually get hot buttons to motivate your team members, your customers. People say, I'm not a good closer. You want to become a better closer. You got to find out what people want. And ultimately, it is driven by beliefs and values. Now, what's your mission? Well, we go, what is Salad Master? Salad Master's mission is to inspire people to the movement back to more healthy home cooking. So maybe your word, maybe your phraseology is to empower. Maybe it's to inspire others to what? Eat better, right? Cook better and live a better life. Now, maybe that's not your mission. Maybe your mission is to be a beacon of light that inspires others to become their very best. Okay, that doesn't work either. So Teresa, we're gonna have to work on this thing here. But maybe you want to be a beacon of life. Maybe that's part of your mission, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe your mission in life is to make a difference, to change lives, make a difference, and have fun, right? All those things sound good. You're like, okay, James, that sounds like a Hallmark card. That's really nice, but does it resonate with who you and what you stand for? Because that's what standards are all about, ladies and gentlemen. Something that you'll stand for. What is a vision? Well, we have short-term goals, we have long-term goals. And really our vision is a longer term goal. That is something that if we were to focus on something, we can see it, we can feel it, we can taste it. Does that make sense? So people get confused about my mission, my mission, my vision. Vision, think about it. You got to be able to see it, right? And we communicate 55% visually, right? So if you can see it, it's easier for you to feel it and believe it. Got it? So what is your vision? Well, your vision in this Salad Master business, I believe, right, is to develop a successful business. Specifically, okay, maybe it's to build a family of life changers. Maybe the word's not life changers. Maybe it's to build a family of health missionaries. Maybe it's to build a family of wellness warriors, right? Maybe it's health mission, maybe it's cooking coaches, whatever the words are you choose, to build a family of wellness warriors, okay? Delivering, okay? Because it's all about results, delivering 50 plus sets a month consistently by December 2021. Wow, that would make you a platinum master distributor, ladies and gentlemen. That would put you in a position where your business is doing $200,000 a month, $2.4 million a year. Some people do that. Yes, there are distributors that do that today. So I have a belief, okay, and you might want to consider adopting this belief, is if others can do it, I can do it. That's a pretty good belief, right? Here's a better belief. If others are doing it and I mentor their best practices, I can do it faster and better. Whoa, is that ego? No, it's not ego. That's strategy. Okay, so believe it's possible. There are people breaking records today. People 10 years ago set big records. 5 years ago, they crushed it. Last month, they crushed it. Okay, so records are made to be broken because people are just borrowing best practice of the wise ones over the last 75 years. So here's a question. Okay, questions are the answers. The quality of life is the quality of questions. So if you start asking yourself better questions, ladies and gentlemen, you get better answers. Go figure, right? So here's a question. Okay, what has to happen in order for me to attract even more quality people into my business? Wow. It's your business, ladies and gentlemen. You're the president of your own corporation. Do you realize that? Sometimes you got to get your head around it. So as a president, you want to give yourself a raise. Okay, well, what do you got to do to earn that raise? So the primary question is to attract even more quality people. Even more means you already have quality people. Because if you don't have one person in your business, you guess what? You have yourself. And you start with one. That's the power of one, ladies and gentlemen. So maybe your primary question is, what has to happen in order for me to do the most productive thing at any given moment? Okay, that's a power question, isn't it? See, sometimes people say, you know what, I'm just not motivated. That's not true, right? You are motivated when you're connected to the cause and it's a worthwhile dream or goal. So, all right, this is your assignment, ladies and gentlemen. This is all about you. Jim Rohn says, work harder on yourself than you do your business. And when you understand you, guess what? Your business becomes easier. Work on your core values, understand your beliefs, define your mission, share your vision, and you will find that people will follow you because it's noble and it's true and it's you. So, all right, that's the foundation. Let's get into business here, ladies and gentlemen, because I know you're all going, okay, it's all about bookings here. So let's talk about bookings, ladies and gentlemen. Referral bookings is where we start, okay? So it really, when we talk about booking shows, ladies and gentlemen, it is an art and it is a science, okay? So I'm going to be talking a little bit about the science here today. The science is what to do and how to do it. The art is you. That's being yourself and connecting with people, not just communicating, but connecting. And this is going to give you more referral business and more profits with less effort. Because sometimes people go, how come it's easy for that person? Well, they paid the price somewhere. I can guarantee you that. We all pay the price, okay, in advance. So let's talk about why people book shows, okay? Well, they book shows because they like you, they trust you, and they want to help you. Okay. They book shows because they believe in the product, they believe in the cause, and they see value of sharing it with their friends. They book because they want to earn free stuff. Got it? That kind of makes sense. So they like you, they like the product, and they like the gifts. You with me? Why do people book shows? They like you, they like the product, they like the gifts. Now let's ask a reason why people don't book shows. Flip the coin. Okay. They don't like you, they don't like the product, and they don't like the gifts. Now I know that sounds a little harsh. Okay. The chances are they probably do like you, but maybe you don't have a strong rapport with them. Maybe there's not a connection, there's not a level of trust. Maybe your show is a little bit long. Okay, maybe it's a little boring. No disrespect, but you know, I have the privilege to train people, and sometimes the show is a little bit long. Okay, and my attention span is only so good, right? Or maybe there's a little bit too much pressure at the end of the show, and what that does do is it creates disconnect. Okay, so maybe it's you. Maybe the cause is you got to look for better ways to get better at building rapport, to have a value-added demo, and actually to let the demo do the selling rather than you trying to push people. People don't believe in the cookware. Now, the fact of the matter is most people like the cookware, but do they like it to the level where if they don't buy it, they want their friends to buy it? That's believing in the product. Not everybody's going to buy it, even if you do the best demo in the world, but they have to buy into the concept. They have to believe in it, that when they're sharing it, it's something that's good for their friends. And then the next thing is the gifts. Now, you know, when you're doing a virtual show, it is so easy to demonstrate the gifts because all you got to do is play a video and say, this is amazing because, and you sell the sizzle, right? When you're face to face, you know, you got to make that salad machine sing, don't you? Okay. And so ultimately, why people don't book shows, because some people have a value that their reputation with their friends, they don't want to be tarnished. They don't want to feel that their friends think that they're trying to sell them something. So what we do with that is we don't get them, we get them to reframe that they're helping their friends. Okay. Everything I'm saying, I truly believe at my core. Okay. And I'm teaching you how to express it in words. So you may have heard of the Pentagon before. Yes. Okay. What is the Pentagon? Well, the Pentagon is the square with another angle. See, it all starts with bookings. You can't cook unless you book. You can't sell unless you cook. You can't build unless you sell. You can't train unless you got people on your team. So all of this, ladies and gentlemen, you go, okay, I want to make more money. I want to sell more cookware. You need to get better at booking. I want to get a better demo. You need to do more demos. I need to actually get more entries into the contest for the Tesla. Guess what? You need to cook more shows. So ladies and gentlemen, really, this is so important what we're talking here today. Okay, so I trust that you're going to get the competitive edge. Now, starts with your mindset. Are you in the home to sell, or are you in the home to book? Okay, truly with that mindset, you have to have a strong opening on booking. You have to have reinforcement in the body of your demo, and you have to close with the last impression. And that is, even if they're not buying, you shift over into booking. The last thing you talk about is the referral program. Okay, now here's my question to you. I gotta start this slideshow here. What's the value of a demo? Okay, do you know the value of a demo, ladies and gentlemen? Okay. Oh my goodness. The value of a cooking show. What is the value of a cooking show here for you? Okay. I'm going to have to fast forward to the next slide here. Okay. I pressed the wrong button. I'm going to stop this. Do this again. So what is the value of a cooking show? Well, some of you have a dinner dollar average, ladies and gentlemen, of $1,000 a dinner. Okay. And if you have a dinner dollar average of $1,000 a dinner, oh, this is so much fun. I'm just going to power through these slides. Okay. And it's going to just get to the thing real quickly here. The reality is when we talk about the value of the dinner here, ladies and gentlemen, is every dinner is $1. Okay. So what does that mean to you? It means that you might make $200 a show. You might make $300 a show. It all depends on how much you sell per show and your profit level. If you're going to define that, you got to know your numbers, right? Don't know your numbers, don't know your business. I would base it on, if some of you are at 15% profit, plan to be at 20% in the next 60 days. Okay, with this information, we're going to train you. How much time does it take to book a show from a show versus a prospected lead? Well, here's the reality. Booking a show from show probably takes you an average of about 30 minutes. Booking a prospected lead probably takes you close to 2 hours. So you really want to maximize on your skill set on referral bookings. Urgency. Okay, the urgency is created from you. You know, if you look at your dinner reservation book every morning, every evening, you know your next available date. Write that down. When is your next available unconfirmed date, and double book it. Some of you go, well, you know, I don't want to double book. What if both shows go on? I'm going to explain to you a little bit later the power of double booking and how that can help you earn an extra 20 to 30% more income at the end of the month, even if both shows go on. Okay. And then finally, you need to stay consistent with your primary outcome. Don't leave the show without replacing the show with another show. Sounds easy, ladies and gentlemen, but if you have that standard and you have that focus, don't leave a show without replacing with another show. So when people buy into the mission, okay, people don't want their friends, they don't want to think that they're trying to sell their friends, right? So the mission is, number one, it's education. We're educating people how to, with 1/2 of the population at risk of heart disease, 1/3 of the population risk of cancer, and diabetes becoming an epidemic. By the way, does that sound a little dramatic? Yes? The bigger the problem, the bigger people move towards a solution. So if we know that 1/2 of the population is a risk of heart disease, and we know that 1/3 is a risk of cancer, okay, and diabetes is becoming an epidemic. During the pandemic, the word, ladies and gentlemen, that continues is not pandemic, it's epidemic. And diabetes is a epidemic. People need to be educated on a better way to eat and live. And that's why we need your support. Okay, empowerment, right? And this has to do with building. By joining our mission to help people to get more, to get back to more healthy home cooked meals, you're helping us make a difference. So the people have to understand that they're helping a cause and helping their friends at the same time. Okay, and they're giving back, because every show that you book, okay, sales that are generated help your local community. Every show, every booking helps support the cause. Thank you, thank you, thank you. When you thank people in advance, you morally obligate them and reinforce that behavior. So let's talk about the win-win-win, ladies and gentlemen. You know that the parties that win when you do a show, of course you win, but you're not the primary party. The first win is their friends win. If the people that are referring their friends understand that their friends are getting 10 times the value, because we're not there to sell, we're there to educate, we're there to empower, and we're there to spread the good word of healthy home cooked meals. Their friends win. They win because they get valuable information and they can earn a beautiful lifetime guaranteed gift. And of course, you win because you're in a very special contest and you appreciate the help. Please, thank you. I want you to write that down if you haven't screen shared this, because every time you talk about the booking program, ladies and gentlemen, it's about the win-win-win. If it's a triple win, nobody loses. If it's triple win, it just makes sense. Okay, and they have to understand that they win, their friends win, and they're also helping you. You're not just in a contest, you're in a very special contest. You're in a travel club, you're in a stock program, you're in your training. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, why do shows cancel, ladies and gentlemen? Ultimately, fear of obligation, fear of being sold. Okay, that's the number one reason why shows will cancel. Okay, either they've been overqualified or over-explained on the product. Don't see value for their time, right? If we don't sell the sizzle on the cooking show experience, they go, well, I'm kind of busy. Call me next week, next month, next year. Okay, people's time. And by the way, the higher you move in social class, right? If you're cooking for lower middle class people, no disrespect, but they tend to have a little bit more time than people that are upper middle class. So if you want to be in the homes where people pay check, cash, credit card, you got to get good at making the show valuable for their time. Okay. You didn't emphasize that you're helping their friends. Okay. poor follow-up, disorganized follow-up, or not committing the show. There's a difference between confirming the show and committing the show. We'll talk about that later. Lack of trust, rapport. Maybe you got the instant booking, but for some reason, the people questioned your integrity. Maybe you distorted some information. Maybe there was a conflict of something that it was said. That's also a possibility. So let's talk about rapport, ladies and gentlemen. Rapport basically is common ground. Rapport is a foundation where you're going to have more influence with people. So how do you get rapport? People can hear it in your voice when you smile. Can you hear me smiling? Yes, you can. Okay, so learn how to smile when you talk. People can hear it in your voice. Okay, also use people's first names often. Now, O, okay, you know that I'm so happy that you're here today, O. And Michelle, I'm excited that you won that oval bake dish. I'm more excited that you're going to get some very good information, Michelle, for this. And some of you go, wait, you just said her name 3 times. That's ridiculous. No, it's not ridiculous. Actually, it is very powerful, even when it's awkward. Okay. So form, what is form questions? These are getting people talking about themselves. F, family. O, occupation. R, recruit. M, motivation. What is a motive? Time, money, or health. Okay, so what does form stand for? Get them talking about their family, their kids, their grandkids, their occupation. So what do you do for work? Right now, you got to be careful when you don't text somebody, what's your job? You have a conversation with them. We're not interrogating, right? Because sometimes people go, well, why do you need to know all this personal information? Right? You're harassing. No, I'm curious. I'm curious to discover more about you. So what do you do for work? Raise your voice. Okay. Next point is compliment. Give sincere compliments. Slide's not moving. Slide's not moving, Teresa. Okay, well, thank you very much.
Yes, it's not.
Okay, well, you could have told me verbally, but thanks anyways. Okay. All right. So what we're doing here, ladies and gentlemen, it's coming up here. Okay, is we're talking about rapport. Can you see that now? Yeah. You can't see rapport.
Yes,
Okay, thank
that's
you.
it.
All right. So when we talk about compliments, they need to be sincere and they need to be personable. Okay. Now, if a guy's complimenting a girl, you got to be very careful how you compliment it. Okay. Ladies, by the way, if they're wearing something nice, they like to be complimented, whether it be accessories or jewelry or shoes or things like that. If somebody's got a great personality, that's always something. Somebody's got a nice smile, that's always something to compliment. Okay. And the follow-up is because, okay, you've got a great personality, Dorothy. And the reason why I say that is because you just seem so personable. Tell me, are you a manager or are you like a business owner of some sort? Right? So you say the word because, which kind of bridges that. The courtesy. Okay. Use a lot of please and thank yous. When you're getting back to face-to-face shows, ladies and gentlemen, you want to use more pleases and more thank yous and ask for permission to open up cupboards. Don't just throw stuff on people's counters. Make sure you wash your hands often when we're doing those face-to-face shows. Matching and mirroring. Do you understand what matching and mirroring means? Okay. Matching and mirroring, ladies and gentlemen, okay, is my slide moving now? We're still on rapport. Matching and mirroring is paraphrasing, meaning if somebody says something, you repeat the same word. Okay. So if somebody uses the word cool, I'm going to write that down. If I'm doing a virtual show, I have to rely on words and voice tonality and body language so much more than face to face. So I have to become even better at building rapport. So matching phrases, matching speed. If somebody's talking slowly, I cannot talk really super fast because then I'm going to blow them away with my intensity. Okay. If somebody's talking in a lower voice tonality, I'm going to try to match that lower voice tonality. Does that make sense? That's being sensitive. People unconsciously connect with people like themselves, right? And so we just want to be like other people by saying words they say, by saying how they say certain words. Maybe somebody talks in, like higher pitches and stuff like that. Maybe you should raise your pitch a little bit. Be sensitive to that. Okay. And if somebody actually, kind of scratches their head a little bit, maybe you start scratch, not to copy them and mock them, but just to kind of, like that. You will find this, ladies and gentlemen, when you're really connected with people, you just do this unconsciously, you don't even know. So become a little bit more conscious when you're matching and mirroring phrases and body language. Understanding and respecting people's beliefs. So, we just had, how do you say? We just had an election, right? And then there was a lot of people on Facebook that were bashing each other because they had different political beliefs, right? And so you just got to be respectful. You may not agree with somebody's beliefs, right? Maybe it's a religious belief. They believe this, you believe that. But you can respect it. You don't have to agree with it. Does that make sense? Okay. And credibility. The more you know about the product, when you're in the pod test and you're talking about metals and things like that, they're like, wow, you impress me. Now, you may not be a metallurgist, but you just learned a little bit about that particular thing that elevated your credibility. Okay. When you have knowledge in an industry, people trust and respect your knowledge. And they, it's like people go to a doctor. Why do they go to a doctor? Because a doctor is a specialist in a very narrow field that they feel that they can trust their advice, right? Okay. And then discuss the common ground, like attracts like, if somebody's born in a certain country or speaks a certain dialect, or maybe they went to a similar school or your kids went to a similar school or something. So this is common ground that creates trust. And advanced gifting, write that down. Nothing replaces free. Nothing replaces gratis. Nothing replaces libre, libre, libre. What does that mean? That means invest and enjoy. Invest in your business. If your dealer's not paying for a spoon, find out how you can buy spoons and give away spoons on your show. Because sometimes it's the littlest thing that makes the biggest difference. Okay. Next slide, breaking rapport. We talk about how do we create rapport? How do we create trust with people? Well, how is rapport broken? Is if we say something that makes them feel wrong or stupid. Okay, so if you ask a question, this is a prime example. When you ask a question and somebody gives you a different answer than you expect, don't say no, right? Think about when you're in class and you sat at the back of the room and you're like, I pray the teacher's not going to ask me to speak, right? Okay, so, and then you were wrong and they made you wrong. How did that make you feel? Terrible, right? So if somebody gives you the wrong answer, say yes and, okay? Yes and. So what temperature does the water boil at? Well, it boils at like 250 degrees. Yeah, it boils over 200 degrees, doesn't it? You see how I made them right? Okay, so when people are made right, they feel that they can trust you. If you make them feel wrong, there's a distrust. Insincere, okay? You know what? Sometimes you're doing a show and interrupting people. They're in the middle of a sentence and you cut them off and you're not really listening to what they're saying. Sometimes, people feel that's insincerity. Maybe you sound untruthful. Maybe you're being truthful, but it sounds like you're exaggerating. Does that make sense? If people think that you're making exaggerated claims, they might doubt what you're saying. So somebody says, can you fry potatoes without oil? And you go, oh yeah. Well, you can do that, but it doesn't really come out that nice, right? So you need to use a little bit of oil in there. So that would be an example of an exaggerated claim, right? Or somebody says, can you ever burn your food? And you go, no, you can't burn your food. And then the first thing they do when they buy their set is they burn their food, right? How does that make them feel about you? They're going, wow, I don't think that's not what they told me. Conflicting values. We talked about this. We don't talk about politics, religion, or gender biases. And if it ever comes up on a demo, avoid. Okay. Being pushy. Okay. We want to be pully. And you're going to learn as you go through this program, you're going to learn how to ask better questions. Okay. And so your closing technique, ladies and gentlemen, if it's too abrupt or if it's too many temps, okay, then people sometimes what that does, it can break trust. Now, don't get me wrong. You have to ask for the order on average 5 times, but you do it in a very soft, subtle, respectful, and caring manner, right? You do it to help them not to get a sale, if that makes sense. Okay, so here's some steps on booking more referral bookings. Number 1, have a fun demo. Okay, so how can you add more fun in your demo? Have a fast demo. Start timing your demo, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, if you've got a virtual demo that's 2.5 hours long, it's an hour too long. I'm telling you, you got to shave it down. Okay, so don't cut corners, but find ways to be a little bit more succinct. Okay, and add value in your demo. If you're getting a lot of people going, man, this stuff's expensive at the end of the show, you go, you know what? I just need to add more value. How can I add more value in their eyes? Create massive value with the hosting gifts. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the hosting gifts is your money machine. This is what makes this business so unique and special, right? And those people that have done other businesses, they know everything costs them money, right? You want advertising, you want marketing, costs you money. It comes out of your pocket. You want brochures, you want all these tools, cost you money. The company, your dealership, pays for the salad machine, the wok, the knives, and the tea kettle. Thousands of dollars of gifts to keep you in front of qualified prospects. So sell the sizzle of those gifts. They're only as good as how you demonstrate them. So with the machine, if you're doing a face-to-face show, where's the location? Can people see the food flowing out, right? Do you make it look easy or do you make it look awkward? Do the cones come off easily? Are you fumbling with them, right? Are you afraid of your hand touching the blade? Okay, or can your hand go on the blade confidently? Okay, when you're cutting, is there a lot of food all over the counter and the floor, or is it nice and organized and clean? These are the little things that's going to help with your bookings, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, get people to use the machine. Okay, get them involved using the machine. As soon as they touch it, right, get them to feel the quality, the weight. They go, wow, this thing's amazing, right? And so these things create involvement. Okay, the mini wok. If you're face to face, show them how the mini wok stacks on top of the electric skillet and talk about how you can cook all these things and they'll get blown away. Okay, talk about at least 3 dishes in the wok, not just one. Oh, you can do stir fry. Well, if they're Afro-American, maybe they don't do stir fry, right? Or if they're if they're Chinese or if they're Asian, yes, stir fry maybe, or the pancit noodle or something like that. That's a given. But if they're non-Asian, you got to give them suggested tips and recipes that you can use it for. Knives. Okay, talk about how these knives are unique, special, and different, right? If you're on a show, I like to get a piece of paper and slice the Santoku. Let's use the Santoku, slice a piece of paper and show them how that works. Okay, or if it's a new knife, you can get a tomato, drop it on there, and it slices in half. Make sure it's sharp. Okay, all straight edge knives will dull, but what makes this knife special is it's high carbon steel, 440 carbon steel. Full tang. So 440 carbon steel, full tang knives. Okay. And it's an 8-piece knife set. Talk about the different knives. You got a utility knife, you got a carving knife, you got a bread knife, you got a chef knife, you've got a Santoku knife, you got a paring knife in this beautiful block and a sharpening steel. Okay. So know your product, right? Sell the sizzle on the premiums. The tea kettle. Some people go, that's not that important. My goodness. Do you boil water? This is the only 316 titanium tea kettle on the planet. If you boil water, you need it. Now, my enthusiasm, I am sold myself, transfers to that person. Make it a must, not a should, right? Not I should do this, I should do that, I should all over, right? I must. This is a must, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking $2,000 in beautiful premiums that you'd be proud to own. Okay, so get excited about these because that's the lifeline of your referral program. Remember, 3 reasons why people book. They like you, they like the product, they like the gifts. Make the gifts sing. So it's not just about giving you 3 referrals to get 1. No, it's about getting 12 referrals to get 4. You with me? Okay, so the next step is get 10 names before they eat. Now, some of you going, how do I do that on a virtual show? Okay, how do you do it on a virtual show? You talk about the referral program at the beginning. You talk about the middle, talk about the end, you email the sheet immediately after the show, you send them a thank you text, and you call them the day after dinner show. I'm going to talk about those steps, but all those little things will make a difference whether people like it and don't follow through and like it and do follow through. Okay, now, next slide. Are you learning stuff? Yes? Have you learned 1 or more things? Who's learned 1 or more thing? Raise your hand. Okay, all right, because I'm going to ask you. Okay, I'm going to ask you, okay, someone's asking about slides 6 and 7. I'm going to go back. So selling the mission, you can take a screenshot of that. Okay, how you doing, Grace? Good to see you. Take a screenshot of selling the mission, the education, the empowerment, and giving back. Okay, and I'm going to go to the next slide in 2 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Okay, and the next slide, number 7, is selling the program, the win, win, win. Right? The friends win, customer wins, you win. All parties win. If it's a win, 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 it just makes sense. Now, okay, so let's jump over, ladies and gentlemen, to getting the appointment. Booking is half the battle. Okay, so think of booking as money in the bank. Does this make sense? Okay, and we want to get that show within the next 7 to 10 days. And if it's first generation, you got to get it even sooner. We'll talk about that. So think about it, money in the bank. You're making 20%. 20% of your dinner dollar average is $1,000. Is $2,200. Is $200 in the bank for every show. Culture, nurture that $200. Okay, because you can withdraw it at a future date if you play your cards properly. Set the standards to help customers get 3 to 4 gifts. This isn't about the food processor. This is about helping them get all the gifts. Does this make sense? That's a standard. Okay. So just say, you know what? Start talking about it on your show. You know what? I find that my customers always want all 4 gifts. Okay. Somebody wants to go back to slide number 8. This is going to cost you extra money. Okay. No problem. Slide number 8. People cancel. Why do they cancel shows? Okay. Because ultimately, their fear of being sold. They don't see the value. You haven't really sold the cooking show experience. You didn't emphasize their friends are benefiting. Your follow-up wasn't organized, or maybe there's a lack of rapport. Okay, back over to getting the booking. Okay, so setting the standard for 3 to 4 gifts that you're going to give people away. You know, with your follow-up, here's the thing. Do you use a dinner reservation book? Yes or no? If you don't, get one. Do you use a dinner reservation book? If you don't, get one. You need a system. Okay, CRM alone is not enough. You need, if you have a booking place in your home, get a wall calendar for the month. Okay, I like to have 2 months on the wall calendar. That way you have last month and next month, and you can constantly rotate the months back and forth because it's visual, right? What the mind can see, okay, it can also believe. Second thing is, when you start building a team, get a day planner. Now, some of you are good on digital on your phone. That's great, because there's fortunes in the follow-up with dinners, but there's more fortunes in the follow-up with your team members. So you have to have an organized system, right? I recommend take a day planner course. Franklin Covey is something I believe in. They also do an online version, Plan Plus. That's another topic at a later time. So you got to have an organization on when you're going to follow these people up. You want to make at least 3 specific calls for every show booked from a show. One is your engagement call, which can be also your booking. And then there's the confirmation, and then the confirmation commitment. And then there's the reminder call. The reminder call. Okay, we're going to talk about that. The day after dinner call, okay, is really all about, I want to use the text to get to the phone. Too many people rely on text alone. Text is good for pushing logical information, but there's no emotion to it. You with me? So use the text to get a 2-way conversation going. Okay, the confirmation call, you want to schedule, to set it your goal no less than 72 hours prior to the show. Now, I can confirm a show a week in advance, okay? But committing a show is different than confirming a show. Committing a show is knowing they're making a commitment that they're going to keep the day. That's the bottom line. If you're weak on that, okay, you're going to get frustrated, because you're going to get a lot of last minute last minute reschedules and unqualified shows and stuff. So we know that's part of the business. Some of their shows will be unqualified. Some of the shows will reschedule, but if you commit and obligate, less will. Okay, we're going to talk about how you do that in a little bit. So the reminder call is always the day before the show. You can shoot them a text. Okay, but when I do the reminder call, I always group chat with the referring customer. Why? If I group chat with a referring customer, there's accountability. Okay, and it creates more stickability to the appointment. Okay, so that's your reminder call or reminder text 24 hours in advance. Okay. Oh, by the way, what happens if you text a reminder call, you don't get a response? Okay. All right. Well, if it's a confirmed committed dinner, okay, you may want to say, I've got the food ready. Okay. I'm going to see you rain or shine. Okay. Let me know if you have any questions, or you might do a hook and say, hey, did you want to get chocolate or vanilla cake? Okay. chocolate or vanilla cake. If they respond, that means the show's on, right? So let's talk about the next slide here, ladies and gentlemen, and that's how we consciously add fun. Okay. Now, when you're doing a virtual show, okay, it's not as important to make it fun, but I think keeping the show nice and tight is going to add fun to it. Okay. And avoiding the lag time. If you're in a face-to-face show, where's the lag time? The time between finished cooking and eating, and from the time of finished eating and pot test. This, for most new people, is too long. So once you, especially if you're doing group dinners, this has got to be tight or you're going to lose your crowd at the end, right? So from the time the salad is cut, boom, having a system to get that food served, get them eating. Okay. If you're doing a husband and wife, or you've got a booking partner with you, one person can be in the front end, one can be in the back end, but you got to keep that show rolling. Okay. Okay. Lag time, reduce it. Okay. End time. If you're starting the show at 8 o'clock at night and you got a 3-hour demo, you got to be conscious of the lag of the end time. If you're doing a show with people with young children and it's 7 o'clock, guess what? Kids are going to crash and burn at 8 or 8:30. Time is on, not on your side, right? So think about that. Okay. Build jokes into your presentation. Okay. Now, you know what? I've been using, my wife goes, my husband's, you've been using the same bad, corny jokes for 25 years. Okay. And it's true, but the thing is I laugh. And if I laugh, they laugh, right? Yeah. What you have to understand is you may have told the joke 100 times, but guess what? It's their first time they heard it. Create involvement, both the husband and the wife. And so, ladies tend to gravitate towards ladies, right? Like attracts like type thing. So you really have to get the husband involved, especially if he doesn't cook. You with me? Okay. Ask questions creates involvement. That's why in our flip chart notes in our office, we have the questions that are in red. So people are conscious about asking questions. Bring a second apron and have them wear it. This is so beautiful. As you start doing more face-to-face shows, buy another apron from your dealer so that you can throw it on the guest, and that makes them feel like a celebrity chef. Okay. Get them using the machine, get them flipping the chicken, getting them to turn the stove on, get them to stir the cake, get them to read the flip chart. Get them involved, ladies and gentlemen, and have fun with the process. Okay. So next slide here. How do you get more referral bookings? Okay. Well, number one is you focus on instant bookings. Okay. I'm going to repeat that, right? If you want to get more referral bookings, you focus on instant bookings. Okay. Now, how do you do that? When you're face-to-face, there's a system. When you're on virtual, there's a system to get instant bookings. Okay. You got to be focused more on the booking than the sale. Number one is you let the people know that it's a win-win, right? They get double credit, you're in a contest, right? So most dealerships will give double credit on any instant booking, which means they don't have to give as much referrals to get the gift. Okay. By the way, if I'm saying anything that's different than your dealership policy, talk to your dealer. Don't try to start making any changes until you're on the same page with your company program. So instead of 4 referrals, they only need 3. So who are we going to call first? Now, notice the question I asked. I didn't say, can you call somebody? Wrong question. What did I say, Victoria? Who can you call first, right? Not can you call somebody tonight? No, who can you call first? Better question, better answer. Okay. Depending on the time of day, 30 to 50% of the people pick up the phone. It's going to depend on the relationship with the people as well, too. So if they don't pick up the phone, guess what? We send text and we do voicemail. It's both. Multiple platforms of communication. Text alone is not enough. Get them on the phone first. Sometimes people get telephone anxiety thinking their friends are going to say no, so they avoid it. That's why if we're going to apply any pressure, okay, I'm not talking about pressuring people, but if we were to apply a little bit of persistence on this, it would be on the instant booking more than the sale. You with me? Does this make sense? Yeah. Okay. So always ask them to try call. And if they say, can I do it tomorrow? Say, please, could you try tonight? Okay. You got that? If the people say, I'm going to talk to the people at work tomorrow, I'm going to talk to the people at church on Sunday or whatever, say, please, can you try calling someone tonight? Okay. The power and the magic of the golden word, ladies and gentlemen. Ask and you shall receive. Okay. Be respectfully persistent Ask nicely, ask one more time, keep on asking until, okay? So here's what, if you learn one thing here tonight, ask one more time for an instant booking. Okay, you ask for the instant booking, they go, well, can I call it? You can do that, but can I ask for a favor? I'm in a super special contest. I consider a great favor, if possible. Could you at least try? Pretty please, turn your head and bat your eyes. Everyone try that, okay? Okay, pretty please, stop. Don't say anything more. Pretty please, could you at least try? Turn your head, bat your eyes. Come on. I'm seeing you. Bat your eyes. Yes, there you go. That works. Okay. All right. Okay. So do not have the customer set the date and times for you. Why? Because they're going to book it for it's convenient for the customer, not when it's best to fill your calendar. Okay. All you do is get the customer to get the yes. Your job is to set the specific time and date. Okay. And do make sure your customer is properly coached for calling the right people and following the script. Because if they don't follow the script, they get more objections, right? If they're calling the wrong people, then you're in front of the wrong people. Okay. So make sure you coach them. All right. Before they get on the phone. Now, all right. Are you learning stuff? Yes. Okay. So if you want to have more referral bookings, have the customer pass the phone to you when you're face to face. Okay. So when you're in the home, after they eat, you get them on the phone before you do the pod test. When? Before you do the pod test. So if you're in the home, you're doing a face-to-face, when do you get them on the phone? After they eat, before they do the pot test. When? Before the pot test. If you're doing the pot test first, that means you're focusing on the sale over the booking. And what's going to happen is you're going to be underemployed. Trust me. That is not the standard of focusing on instant booking. So get the customer to make the call. As soon as the customer that says yes, get them to give you the phone. Because the customer is not trained to sell. All you got to do is get the yes. They're saying, hey, I got the chef here in the house. Okay, they would just want to say hi to you. Boom. Hi, this is Chef Victoria here. How you doing tonight? Great. And you explain the win-win program. We're going to go through the scripting of that. But you're not necessarily, you're there to warm the people up. You with me? Okay, because sometimes you call them 3 or 4 times, you can't get them on the phone, so you might as well get them on the phone that night, right? Say yes. So sell the experience. It's all about the 4 F's, the food, the fun, the favor, the free. The 4 F's is all about what? The food, the fun, the favor, and the free. Okay? So the food, you sizzle. You get excited, say, you're going to be kings and queens for the night. We're actually going to be your private chefs for the evening. We bring all the equipment, all the food. We cook, we clean up. You sit back, relax, and enjoy yourself. Doesn't that sound like fun? You're selling the sizzle of the show. Now, how do you sell the sizzle of the cooking show experience? This is going to be an amazing watch and learn experience. You and your husband just open up your laptop, sit back. You can do it after your dinner. This can be like dessert rather than turning on Netflix. You can actually be educated on fast, easy, healthy food preparation. Okay. And we do an interactive experience called a soda test. When you experience, it will change your life forever. You got to sell the sizzle, don't you? Right? So talk about the food, talk about the fun. It's interactive, it's educational, and there may be even a few bad jokes. The favor, you're helping your friend get a very, very special gift. Plus, I'm going to help you get one too. Okay? You have to talk about the favor. That's the obligation of the power of referrals. And then it's free. I just wanted to let you know there's no obligation. We get credit just for doing the show. If you like what you see, we can leave you a brochure. Okay? This needs to be clockwork, ladies and gentlemen. You gotta know the verbiage verbatim. So if you wake up in the middle of the night, boom, you pick up the phone, right? This just flows. How does it flow? Is you role play. How does it flow? Is because you read the script until you become comfortable to do it on your own. So sell the experience, create the urgency. Sometimes people go, they're interested in the show, but they want to do it next month, next year. They want to do it after Christmas. My goodness. They want to do it in the summer. It's just a dinner. You with me? So we have to create urgency by telling the sooner we do it, the better. Preferably next week, so it helps your friend get their gift sooner. You with me? Okay, so I'm going to repeat that. We have to have urgency, otherwise people will procrastinate. So the sooner we do it, the better, preferably next week, because the sooner we do it, the sooner we can help your friend get their gift. Schedule the date. Now, please understand, schedule the date when it's better for you, not for the customer. You're like, wait a second, James. No, you want to fill your calendar. You got to make sure that your technique is to phrase it in a way that's best for you to fill your next available date, not when it's convenient for them. How do you do that? Power of suggestion. Power of suggestion. So I'm going to suggest, the weekdays are extremely popular. Now, I'm going to give you a little tip. Don't say weekday or weekend. Why? Why don't I say weekday or weekend? Okay, because most people are gonna gravitate towards what? Weekend, because that's when they have a little bit more time freedom. Okay, but in some cases, like in the summertime, weekends are going to be harder because they're going to want to go away to the park and go, have picnic or go on like staycation somewhere. So we don't say weekday or weekend. Okay, first we suggest the popular days. We find weekdays are so popular. In fact, for some reason, I find like Tuesdays and Wednesdays are really popular. Why am I saying that? Because tomorrow I want a booking on a Wednesday. Now, if I'm on the phone on a Tuesday and I want to book either Wednesday or Thursday, what do you think I might suggest is popular? A lot of people, Mondays through Thursdays are so popular. Okay, weekdays are just so popular. And then ask for the favor. I've got an opening tomorrow night. Okay. Now, if possible, if you could do it, I'd really appreciate it. Please, thank you. Okay, and then give them two choices. Would you like to try? Do you have plans for dinner tomorrow night yet? You see how you can create urgency that? Just by having, number one, power of suggestion, asking for the favor, and give them two choices. Okay? And the best one is one they don't want. So if you're doing a 3-in-1, ladies and gentlemen, you want to do 3 shows on a Saturday. Okay? What's going to be the easiest one to book? It's going to be dinner or lunch, right? Breakfast is going to be harder to book. Now, if you want to do 5 shows in a day, then you're probably going to have to do an early breakfast, a late breakfast, an early lunch, a late lunch, an early dinner, a late dinner, right? So what you do is you suggest what's most popular. Right now, a lot of people are booking brunches and breakfasts. Okay, so that's the suggestion: brunches and breakfast. Did you like the idea of doing that on an earlier or later seating? Oh, earlier. Okay, we could do it at 6 a.m. or is 8 a.m. better? Now you're praying they're not going to say 6 a.m., right? But it's inconvenient for them. So by default, they're going to book the 8 a.m., which is better for you. So the technique is you give them a choice that doesn't work well for them and give a choice one works well for you. That way you can kind of give options to fit spots in your calendar. Do you like that? Did you learn that? So brunch or breakfast, brunch or lunch, right? So you kind of, so role play that one out. Okay. So some good little tips there. And let's talk about the power of suggestion. We talk about popular days, popular times. We ask for the favor. Again, you're in a very special contest. You need their help. Okay. All right. Where are we here? So let's talk about objections. When people give you an objection, ladies and gentlemen, your mindset needs to be, okay, I don't try to interrupt them. Let them speak first. That's the most important thing, is listen. Okay. And what I learned as a technique is when you listen, take a breath and count backwards 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and just listen. Okay. All right. And then after they say what they say I respect what you're saying. Don't say I agree. Say I appreciate what you're saying. Don't agree. Say I understand what you're saying. Don't agree. Okay. So wait and say, hey, I totally respect what you're saying. Can I make a recommendation? Okay. Guys and gals, this is closing. You're closing on, whether you're closing on a set, closing on an appointment, okay, you're closing, right? And so the recommendation gets them from a mindset of no to maybe. Does that make sense? It's called yes momentum. Learn to ask questions that are easy to say yes to. So can I make a recommendation? People say, yeah. The easiest way for you to actually get your gift faster, okay, and the most time effective way, okay, is actually schedule it today. Okay. All right. And then close on the ins booking. And if they give you resistance on the ins booking, say, could you at least try? You like that? Could you at least try? Okay. And so what are legitimate excuses? Sometimes people say, I have to talk to my friends first. Sometimes when you're getting names, sometimes people say, I can't put the phone number down, that type of thing. Okay, somebody missed the slide number 17. Going back to 17. It's the same as the previous slide. Okay, that's why I powered through it. So, okay, so what we want to do is know what is it a legitimate excuse or is it a legitimate concern or excuse? Okay, most of the time it's an excuse, right? So if they say I have to talk to their friends, say absolutely. Your first step is to make a list of 10 people that could be prospective people. Then you call them later, okay? So you get them to write the names down, because if they don't write the names, they don't go through the mental process. Okay, so the names list is very, very important. I'm going to see them at work tomorrow. Can I call them later? Okay, well, listen, great. Hey, I totally understand what you're saying. Can I make a recommendation? Right? And then you go, win-win. It's better for you because you get the instant booking bonus. It's better for me because I'm in a very special contest. Could you at least try? Okay. Some people say, I don't know a lot of people. Say, great. Do you have a cell phone? Right? Scan through the names on the cell phone. Say, I don't know if they'll buy. Say, not a problem. I get credit just for cooking for them. You see how that works? Okay. So close one more time on your instant bookings, ladies and gentlemen. Become an instant booking champion. Now the fortunes are in the follow-up. Immediately after you hang up your Zoom, send a thank you text. Okay. Immediately, if you're in the home, before you put your car into drive, send a thank you text. Now, thank you text, you should have a text template where it's already set up into your phone. So it's a shortcut. If you don't know how to use shortcuts, talk to your distributor, talk to your dealer. We can email out some text templates, some digital text templates that you can copy and paste. If you're not using them yet, start incorporating into your communication protocol, because it saves you a lot of time and the language is consistent. Okay. So, and by the way, if you have a picture of you in there, guess what that is? That reestablishes rapport in the relationship. So if you have a picture of you with a chef jacket on, or you with an apron with some knives, or you holding the Salad Master Walk with a big smile on your face, right? Looking professional. That is your digital business card. Write that down. Whoa, never thought of that. Digital business card. Okay, start including a digital business card in your text communications. Now, that's the immediate thank you. Then the DAD call, the day after the dinner, the day after the show. Okay, again, thank them, remind them of your mission, remind them of the contest, remind them of the timeline of 14 or 21 days that they have. Okay, what the shows need to be completed. Does this make sense? It's the little things that make the difference, and there's fortunes and follow-up. So that day after dinner call, it keeps the ball rolling, right? Here's what happens over time. Emotion declines over time. So you got to strike the iron while it's hot with the instant booking, and you got to communicate with them immediately the next day. That's where your organization on your follow-up is so important with the day planner or whatever you're using as a system. Okay. And again, group chat with the person that referred them. That's always very important. So how you obligate an appointment. Okay. So once they confirm the date, you cannot commit a show that's not confirmed. So if they go, I gotta talk to my husband. Great. Okay. How soon do you think you'd be able to talk to him? Would you be able to talk to him tonight, or is tomorrow a better time to talk to you about that? Oh, I'll talk to him tonight, so call me tomorrow. Great. Now, when you call them tomorrow, you say, great, that time works and that date works. They say, yes. Give them 3 promises. Okay. I will be there. I'll bring lots of food, or if it's virtual, I'll make sure that we cater the video cookings to your liking. Okay. And I'll make sure you have fun, fun, fun. One promise, keep the date. Got it? You got to have them agree to keep the date. That's why texting doesn't really work for committing an obligated appointment. I'm going to be there, rain or shine, thunder, lightning. You can count on me. It's face to face. I'm shopping. I'm prepping. I'm getting a helper that's going to be there. Company knows I'm cooking. Okay. I am absolutely committed. Anybody else wants your show that date is going to have to choose another date. One promise. Now that we're confirmed, keep the date. Okay. And wait for a response. That's it. That's how you commit a show. Okay. And makes your life a lot easier when your holdups better. So there's text templates you can have for referrals so that your customer can send them out to their friends. Okay. This can have like a video link in there that explains the cooking show program, so the customer doesn't have to explain it. The thank you text, again, with the thank you text, you can have a video link of the salad machine so they get reminded of the benefit of doing the show. And then also that day after dinner show, okay, those texts. So these are available in digital format. We will follow up with an email, and all you do is copy and paste it into your shortcuts into your phone, okay? Saving a show. If somebody's going to reschedule, all right, if it's a committed show, there's really only two legitimate reasons for canceling a confirmed show. Number one, family emergency, somebody's sick, or there's a death in the family, reset, okay? If it's unqualified, meaning only one decision maker is there and not going to be present, okay, generally you let it slide through the cracks. If it's a face-to-face, maybe they can invite one other health conscious couple, okay? So these are just a couple little tips. When you're saving a show, right, remember you gave them 3 promises. So they say, you know, I've been meaning to talk to you, like something came up, I can't do the show. Say, okay, remember the promises I gave you. Okay, the food's already prepared, I got a helper schedule, let's just whip you up a quick meal. I can tell you on so many times, ladies and gentlemen, that people tried to reschedule because they had another party, another offering. I committed the appointment and I delivered a set of cookware at the same time. And sometimes once that show resets, you're not going to get it on again. So it's important really to commit it. Okay. Double booking also works well because we know that even committed shows, okay, 15 to 20% will reschedule within 3 days of the appointment, even if you've done a good job of committing it. Okay. So write this down. You have to eat anyway. Let me cook for you. Right? You got to eat lunch anyways. Let me just cook for you. You got to eat dinner. Let me just cook for you. I'll just whip you up a quick meal. It'll be fun. You'll have leftovers. Okay. I need your help. Right? You got it. Learn how to beg eloquently. Okay. And so cashing in on service, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Some customers will only buy and they won't refer. Accept it. That's just the way it is. Okay. That's why sometimes when you throw in the salad machine to close the sale, sometimes you take away the reason why they're going to give you a referral. Okay. Some customers will give you only a few referrals, even if you're really good. Okay. 20% of your customers will provide 80% of your future business. Okay. What does that mean? That means you cook 5 shows, 1 in 5 of your customers is going to be an excellent hostess, right? You're going to have a couple that are only going to give you a few shows and a couple that are going to give you none. But if you do the right technique, you're going to get luckier more often. Okay. Cash in on service, ladies and gentlemen. When you have a customer, embrace the problem, fix the problem, service them, help them be happy. If they're burning or sticking or something's not working out, turn it into a positive. Okay. You don't know who your 20%ers that are going to give you your 80% of your business. And sometimes it's a non-owner. Write it down. You need to have a balance in your portfolio, both owners and non-owners. But it's easier to get your owners. So you need to be better at your follow-up with your non-owners. That thank you text, that day after dinner call. Is this making sense? Say yes. Say yes. Okay. So if you want to cook, ladies and gentlemen, here's the hierarchy of skills. Friends and family, warm market is always easy. They know you, they trust you. You don't ask them, you tell them. Next is referral. It takes a little bit more skill on the referral, but if you use the technique, the science of Salad Master, if you use the right tips and techniques, you're going to get more referral bookings. And then it takes even more skill set to prospect. So we're going to touch on, okay, because time is of the essence. I'm going to power through some of this stuff. Okay, I don't have enough time to talk about all of it, but I'm going to talk about some prospected referrals. But the reality is you have to have a higher skill set to book a prospected show. Okay, and you have a higher reset or cancellation rate of a prospected show because it takes a higher level of skill to do that. But eventually you need to learn how to prospect outside of your warm market, outside of referral bookings. Okay. And so we'll talk about that later. Okay. We talked about that already. Okay. And so here's tracking your numbers, ladies and gentlemen. Use a weekly summary in your dinner reservation book. What do I mean? There's certain benchmarks of the business you want to strive towards. See, when you first start, what you lack in skill, you make up for an activity. Does this make sense? Obviously, nobody's perfect, but progress. You're always learning. You're always growing. You're getting coached by your distributor, your trainer, the dealer in your office. But here's where you want to go towards. 2 qualified couples. Now, 2 qualified couples for a group show. Okay. 1.1 bookings per couple. Okay. What does this mean? On the average show that you cook, you want to make sure you're averaging 1.5 referral bookings. Okay. So 50% of your shows should hold up on the day that you set them. 80% of your shows should hold up when they're confirmed and committed within 72 hours. And your dinner dollar average should be around $1,200 to $1,800. Okay. Our office, we're at about $1,600 net. We're about $2,000 gross. BMIB, it's much higher than that, of course. So if you can go, hey, every show I'm averaging $1,500 in sales. I'm making 20%. That's $300 for 2.5 hours of my time. That's pretty good. Shopping, prepping, traveling, maybe that's $75 an hour. Maybe that's $100 an hour on contract. Okay. So number one, get better at booking, cook more shows, have a better dinner dollar average, get a higher commission rate, and you become more valuable in the marketplace. Strive for greatness, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. And make booking a obsession. So with that being said, I've covered the topics on this. Stop screen share. Teresa, should we give away another prize? And by the way, I want to congratulate each and every one of you. I wish my PowerPoint was advancing. Something was really strange there. So your experience may not be as pretty or beautiful. So who here thinks that we should just continue on with the next PowerPoint, and who thinks that we should give away a gift? Okay, just continue learning. Just push on with the PowerPoint, right? Yeah, push on. We don't want a gift, do we? No gifts? Yes, you want gifts. Okay, Teresa, they want gifts. All right, so let's spin the wheel. This is for a bacon roast pan, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Bart himself. Where is he? Oh my goodness. I'm going to charge you shipping, Bart.
Are you giving this away or you're keeping it?
No, we'll let Bart keep it. Bart only has a small set. He only has a small set, but he's on the stock program. So very good. All right. Congratulations, Bart. You'll be able to make some good Rice Krispies Canadian style. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to really touch on, now I'm going to ask you what you learned, what one thing that you learned here. Okay. So I'm going to put somebody on the spot here really quickly, but before I do that, I'm going to talk briefly on prospected shows. Okay. Are you ready for this? I'm going to shift gears onto prospected shows. So what we want is we want to create consistent activity, right? So if your consistent activity may be two shows a week, 3 shows a week, 5 shows a week, but really consistency is so important because it creates predictable results and predictable profits. Okay. Now in this, I'm going to skip over to the next one. Okay. All right. So, there is a story. We talk about the personal story on the dinner show, but there is a personal story that we have for booking shows. Okay. Before you've seen a show, when you've seen a show, and after you've seen a show. Talk about how the experience of the show, this is going to help you become a better booker, especially when you're prospecting shows. Okay. So here's the power of 3. When we're prospecting, there's salad cutting and pancit delivery. Okay. It's pretty much the same thing. You're just delivering different food. The outcome is to get face-to-face with people and demonstrate the gift, build rapport, qualify, create urgency, and set an appointment. We'll talk about the details of that later. Store booking or health fairs is you standing behind a table, okay, giving away food samples. And by the way, now that COVID epidemic is receding, we're actually now starting to do more of these type fairs and store booking events. You wear an apron, you have a pull-up banner, you stop people, you get them to register, they register for a show. Lunch and Learns is a corporate event where you're doing a group. This is a little bit more advanced. This has a little bit more training. The gateway to Lunch and Learns is doing the salad cut presentation. Okay. And then free carding is one of my favorites because wherever you go, you can actually sign people up for a free salad or a free pancit delivery. Don't leave home without your free cards. If you don't have free cards, your dealer can print them afterwards. And then networking, right? Really everywhere you go, you can network as long as you know what to say. And in your email, you have what's called an elevator speech. When you get together with your study buddy, you want to role play the elevator speech because what the elevator speech does, it gets you more comfortable in selling the cooking show experience without talking about the product. Okay, if that makes sense. So the elevator speech, here's an example. Hi, my name is James. My mission is to change lives by educating people to prepare healthy and delicious meals with less time and less effort. If you'd like to know more how you can double the nutrition in your cooked food and eliminate the oils and impurities in the cooking process, let's have a conversation. Does that make sense? You can also do an elevator speech for prospecting people for the business. Okay. For example, you've got a really nice way with people. Remember, rapport, give a compliment. Are you currently achieving all your financial goals with your current job? The company I'm working with is an expansion phase, and we're looking for a few good people who would be comfortable doing presentations on health and nutrition. Now, let me ask you, if the timing and money were right, would you be interested in creating another income stream? Okay, they go, well, it depends. And then you say, I can't promise you a job, but I can guarantee you an interview. Okay, write down the best number. I can call you back so you can speak with my manager. So you can just talk to people, ladies and gentlemen, either about the product or the business on the 3-foot rule basis. Store booking and health fairs. Okay, first of all, it's got to be a busy store. If it's not a busy store, you're going to get bored. Okay, usually grocery stores are good. Sometimes health food stores can be good. Sometimes gyms can be good. You're sampling, usually salad samples, salad cake, or pancit noodles. You've got the salad machine. You maybe have some gifts on display. With COVID, you need to seal the containers. If it's a chocolate cake, healthy cake, you put it in a sealed Dixie cup. And you need to have a positive attitude, because you're going to have people say no to your, and that's okay, because it's a filter. You're selecting people, you're not selling people. Okay. And we're always training another person. When you're prospecting, it's important to be buddied up with somebody, because they're either learning from you or you're learning from them. And there's also accountability, and it makes it fun. Okay. And don't expect to call back every person. So just because they register, you're selecting people. You don't have to feel obligated to call somebody if they're not qualified. And then don't give leads blindly to a new person that's inexperienced, because they're going to have they're not going to know what to say. Remember, we got to learn how to book the basics, book referrals, and then book prospected leads. And so we always want to have events scheduled. Do it consistently. I recommend to everybody, find a way you can prospect 1 day a week and build from there. Okay. So here's a sample of a registration form. It says, register to win a privately catered meal sponsored by a healthy cooking company. First question. Basically, all we want to know is, number one, are they health conscious? Do they like to cook? And do they have a decent job? That's all we want to know. Of course, we want to know their name and their callback number as well, too. Now, sometimes people will give you fake information. What does that mean? They give you a fake phone number. So you call them back, it doesn't work. There's a technique to work around that. But part of it is we put on our paperwork privacy statement. Your information remains confidential. We never sell your customer list to third parties. That builds confidence and trust. Okay. Also, what you can do is you tell the people, nobody's going to call you unless you're selected. Write that down. Same thing happens when you're free carding. Nobody's going to call you unless you're selected. By the way, if we're selected, would you like the chicken or the vegetarian meal? Okay. Nobody's going to call you unless you're selected. Okay. If we do call you, did you want chicken or vegetarian? Great. Write it down and say, by the way, let me send you a text. And you send them a text template on the information on the cooking show. So when you give them an instant text, what's happening? You're confirming that their phone number works. Right. And always grade your leads. Please make a note of this. I like to grade the leads 1 to 5. You can do 1 to 10 if you like. 1 to 3, forget about it. Your time is money. You're in business. Don't cook for somebody that is quasi-qualified. Okay. And you're also looking for people that are excited too. So health conscious, people that cook, people that are financially stable, and people that have a good attitude and have a good, they're excitable. Because if they're excitable about a free dinner, they're excited about a free electric skillet with their son. So, and always, a tip is always try to book them on the spot if they're hot. Call that instant booking. And so let's talk a little bit about some things we can say about the cooking show program. It's an educational experience. We talk about the food and flavors. We talk about the fun and the free. Okay, so we romance the cooking show, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, how are we hanging in there? Digna, are you okay? You hanging in? You hanging in there? Great. I hope you're getting some good notes. So when we talk about salad cutting, remember, what are the goals? We want to build trust, right? Same thing. We want to have to, so how do we do that? When we get face to face with them, we get them talking about themselves, right? And we use the form, the family, occupation, recruit, motivation. We sell the cooking show program. We build value in the gift. So that salad machine, you're making it sing, whether you're making punzit, babinka, or fresh rainbow salad, okay? And book them on the spot. And so with the salad cutting or the punzit delivery, you preset the appointments. Now, where do you get the appointments from? You can get the appointments from some of your gourmet giveaways. You can get the appointments from store bookings. You can get the appointments from associates or people that you don't know too well. So in other words, you can call a friend and say, hey, I want to cook for you, but maybe there's somebody at your church you really don't know too well, or maybe somebody that, you know, was an alumni that you haven't seen in 5 years. It might be awkward to say, hey, I want to cook you. Say, hey, listen, I'm doing this new healthy cooking show. We're delivering free fresh salad or free fresh healthy pancit. Want you to taste it. We'll leave your brochure. Are you going to be home tomorrow? That's it, right? So you set the appointment, okay? You can also do it with your new team members' warm market. You want to teach your people how to prospect? Go to the warm market list and get them set appointments. You can knock on your neighbor's door. By the way, does your neighbor know you? Yes. Does your neighbor trust you? Yes. Knock on your neighbor's door. We're giving away free fresh salad, okay? You can also knock on your customers' neighborhoods. So if you have a customer that lives there, you can just go to the neighbor, knock on the door, say, we did a cooking show for Bob and Mary next door. Just wondering if you guys occasionally eat fresh salad. Would you like a free fresh salad? They say yes. Okay. And so we have a script for that. And so these are the things. We also have a salad cutting brochure that you leave behind with them when you book the appointment. And so really the key is, ladies and gentlemen, is talking to people, whether it be the lunch and learn, whether it be the salad cut appointment. The free card basically is a card that they fill out. You just say, have you registered yet for a free gourmet dinner or a healthy salad? Fill this thing out. And then after they fill it out, you find out, do they like to cook? Are they health conscious? Are they making all the money they want to make? And then you tear it away and you call them back and you schedule usually a salad appointment. So these are just some things with the free carding. You just talk to people, ladies and gentlemen. You can do BNI groups. You can do networking groups. You can do it on Facebook. Facebook has so many different groups. Who do you look for? Health conscious people, people into healthy cooking, people into organic foods. There's so many different groups that you can join through social media. Okay. But really, if you're doing social media, ladies and gentlemen, just start by getting on camera, post pictures, do some videos, recipes. But here's the number one thing. Don't say salad master. Okay. You should have social media for your friends and family and social media for your business. Now, with social media for your business, okay, you can also have one for your team. But if you're doing your team, you're talking salad master. But for your prospects, what you're doing is you're talking about healthy cooking, healthy living, healthy lifestyle, cooking classes, healthy tips, etc. Okay. So, but we don't talk about the name of your product or name of your business. That is a cardinal sin. Okay. So if you're not one for Instagram or Facebook, start doing something. It's building your network. Okay. And so you know all of them, ladies and gentlemen, but you got to master at least two. So what am I going to get good at? I'm going to get good at store booking, but I can only do store booking when there is a store booking thing. So I always say, get good at punzit delivery and get good at free carding. Why? Because you can do it anytime. You just pick up the phone, set a point, and boom, and deliver it. We've delivered over 200 salads in our office in one day before and booked over 100 shows by delivering fresh salads. And I know other offices have done the same. So we're now like coming out of COVID and more people are open to this type of thing, especially maybe a little bit hesitant right now, depending on, you know, the people or the neighborhood, but it's something you want to embrace. Okay. And so we must talk to enough people. We call it TTP, talk to people. And if that doesn't work, TTMP, talk to more people. Okay. This is called the funnel. You talk to 10 people, you get 5 good prospects, 3 shows booked, 2 shows cooked, 1 set sale. Okay. Write that down. Talk to 10 people, you book 5 shows. Okay. Excuse me. You got 5 prospects, you book 3 shows, you cook 2, you sell 1. Okay. Now it's possible you might have to talk to 10, 12 people to sell 1, right? When your skill level's better, maybe it's 8 people to sell 1, right? But it all boils down to talking to people, to getting shows booked, to getting qualified prospects, to getting sales. Some will, some won't. So what next? That's your mindset of a champion booker, ladies and gentlemen. Don't get stuck on the no's. You got to go through the no's to get to the yeses. And so really what I'd like to close on, ladies and gentlemen, okay, is, you know, prospecting is like mining for gold. Okay. And, you know, you're all miners. You're mining surgical stainless steel. And, you know, sometimes you got to dig for a little bit. You got to go through some sand, go through some rocks to get to some good nuggets of gold. I have to share with you, as I've moved 7 times in my career in Salad Master and literally started from scratch. Starting from scratch is not easy because right now we've got a great network of customers and consultants, and it gets easier and easier, but you got to talk to people to build your network. And so when we first moved, okay, I moved from Vancouver to Vancouver Island, and there was a nice little lady named Dina Helen. She was a nurse. She was in her early 70s, okay? And this was opportunity meets preparedness. I tried to book a show with her. She's, I'm busy. I said, well, let me ask you, do you eat salad occasionally? She said, yes. I went to her home, set appointment. I did salad cutting appointment. She got excited about the free, right? She met me, so her resistance went down. She booked a show. She sold a set. It was not easy to sell her a set because she had 2 kids in college. She was single mom. Okay. But guess what? I ground out a personal set. She tried to cancel, but I sold her on the stock program and being a booking partner. And guess what happened, ladies and gentlemen? In that 1 year, just from this one lady, I sold over $250,000. One person, but it wouldn't have happened unless I went out. She said no to the dinner, but she said yes to the salad. And then she said yes to the dinner. Okay. And so sometimes you got to do a little bit of digging there, but when you do the right things at right time for the betterment of all, ladies and gentlemen, guess what happens? Okay. Serendipity is when opportunity meets preparedness. Okay. So don't be shy, ladies and gentlemen, get out there, talk to people. Now, what did you learn? I'm going to just quickly, I'm going to be asking a couple questions, but I want to just share with you a couple of what you have. Okay. For your assignment, what do you value? Fill that out, define your mission and your vision. Okay. What else did we email out? We emailed out booking shows from shows. This is a 10-step process on how you become more effective on and more proficient on booking more shows from shows. We also shared for you the gourmet giveaway script. Okay. And that's really the verbiage on how to sell the experience, how to explain the win-win, how to create urgency so they book now, and how to set the appointment. Okay. And we also had shared with you here the elevator speech. Now, if you want to become great at store booking, salad cutting, and free carding, there's some really nice phraseology in here. You don't have to remember the whole page, but there's a couple things in there, some words you're going to pick up, role play with your study buddy. So my assignment I'm going to give to you, ladies and gentlemen, is find somebody in your office. Find somebody that was on this call here today to connect and speak with them once a week intentionally on what you learned. Review your power notes, review the attachments I sent out to you. We're also going to email out to your dealer the text templates and set those text templates up in your phone. Now, we talk about mastery, ladies and gentlemen. It's not what you know, it's what you do. And moving it from your head to your mouth to your heart takes practice. Okay, it takes conditioning. That's why you need a study buddy partner to make this thing work. Now, I believe that each and one of you has greatness within you. Okay, and it's our time right now to resurge. We've seen our BMIB was huge. We're seeing a great resurgence taking place. People are excited about the Tesla contest, and it's very probable that one of you on this call here today will be driving a Tesla. It is very probable, but you got to be in front of people. You got to be a warrior. You got to pick the phone up. You got to put yourself on the line. Okay, don't worry about the no's, because guess what? When you're new, you get a lot of no's. Okay, but you got to be thick-skinned like a rhino. Let it roll off your back, because you get to the yeses faster when you get better by practicing your script. Don't wait for perfection, ladies and gentlemen. Pick up the phone and be willing to make the mistakes. Just talk to more people. So with that being said, we have, I'm going to, who's up for, I'm just going to, before we close this thing up, because we only have 2 minutes left, raise your hand if you want to share one thing you learned. Raise your hand. Okay, I always like how everyone, okay, it's Gina Gonzalez, asked to unmute. Gina, and who's next?
Play that marathon round we did on Sunday.
Hi.
So thank you for making time for us. And what I learned today is it's not just about the food processor. It's 12 referrals for 4 items, $2,000 in gifts. Go for more.
Exactly, exactly. And it's 4 times easier to book a show off for a referral than it is off a salad cup. Okay, it takes
Yes.
less time and less effort. Thank you, Gina. Who else put up their hand? Was that Lee and Marvin put up their hand? Who else put up their hand? Okay. Was it? I don't know. Okay, I seen another hand come up. Do I have to pick on somebody? I'm gonna ask Bart, since Bart won a bacon roast pan, and I'm gonna ask Louise as well too. Louise is actually director. Bart is actually a director in training. Okay, and tell us a little, one thing that you learned, Bart.
I love the first sheet about filling out the things that are important to you. One of the things you said was believe we can be great through ... And that's what we have to find out for ourselves.
Yeah, it's true. And you know what? Some people will just go, you know what? I don't have the time. No, you need to make the time. Because when you tap into your passion, it's not about selling, it's about sharing. And it's about caring. Thanks so much on that one, Bart. So that is part of your assignment, is role play that one. And I do have Luis up there, Teresa. If we can get Luis on stage here. Good to see you, Luis. Asked to unmute. There you go.
Okay. Thanks, James. Thanks for having me on, and congratulations to the Achievers region. You guys are rocking it, and I love seeing you at the top of the scoreboard each and every month. So keep up the great work. And James, I think for me, it was, I love the technique of matching. I think that really teaching people the skills of when you're in front of somebody, how it is that you can connect and build that trust and rapport is really important. And I hadn't really heard the matching technique before. So that's something that I really am going to apply as well in my conversations. So
yeah, matching gestures, matching voice tonality, matching words. If somebody's picking their nose, please do not match that though. I've seen people do that. That's not the best, but not the best technique. I'm going to pick on a couple dealers. We got Lanny Lynn, master dealer. Can you imagine somebody's a master dealer and they're on this call to listen, learn, and lead from Tacoma, Washington, Hungry with Grace. What is one thing that you picked up here, Lanny Lynn?
I think, well, it's not what you know, it's what you do. So we might know all this technique, but if we don't do it and apply it, it will not be effective as it is.
Outstanding. Okay. So, so we know the importance of distilling it down. So if you have team members that are on this call, have a conversation with them and say, okay, how are we going to apply this? How are we going to apply this? Okay. And I'm going to ask for one more share here. Okay. One more share, one more person I can pick on. Okay. Elizabeth, how you doing, Elizabeth? Good to see you on the call here today. Okay. What is one thing that you picked up on?
I think the very best thing that I pick up from this call, I mean, from this training tonight is, you know, you are building your rapport, you build trust, stronger connections, and more influence, not just to your customers, but with your people as well.
It works across the board. It works with your team. You know, rapport is everything, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes you go, how is it so easy? That's the art. The science is the tips and techniques, the tactics, the words, the phrases that we went through here today, which is important, right? But if you're not connected with those people consciously and unconsciously, if they don't feel that you have their best interest in mind, you're going to actually be facing a roadblock, not just on your bookings, but your selling and your building as well too. So this is all great stuff. I want to thank you for your time, commitment, dedication. 2 weeks from now, we're going to be focusing on the presentation, how you can have a powerful demo, right? Because there's some people that got to cook 5 shows to do a sale, and some people actually do 3 shows and do 2 sales. What's the difference? The difference is in the demo. So we're gonna really get in some meat and potatoes next time. After that, it's going to be on closing and dealing with objections artfully, so you're not feeling like you're pushing people and they don't feel the pressure. And then the final thing is how you take it all together, the pinnacle of success, and change other people's lives by building a business. So I want to thank you for your time. Get together with your study business. This is your business. Embrace it, master it, because this is mastery training. Peace out, y'all. Thanks for logging in. Okay. And we'll see you next time.